So, my definition of technical analysis is this, right? Technical analysis is using past data like chart patterns, candlestick patterns, volume, indicators, etc. to help you make a trading decision. And before we dive deeper into technical analysis, which is what this training is all about, I want you to be aware of two mistakes, right, that many traders make. Many losing traders make this mistake. Number one, they add too many indicators, tools, right, to their charts because it makes them look like a professional trader. But here's the thing, if you have a chance to look at the screens, the monitor of, pro traders, you will realize that their charts are actually quite empty. They have tools on it, right, but it's not a lot. It's usually relatively little compared to new traders who just got started in trading. They add a moving average, RSI, MACD, make their charts look so complicating, thinking, it makes them look like a real trader. But that's usually, further away from the truth. Okay, so the reason why you don't want to add too much tools to your chart is because you will get analysis paralysis. You will get conflicting information and you will feel overwhelmed. Alright, it's like, having too many chefs to make one soup. You have too many chefs, each one add their own flavor, their own spice, their own tweak to the soup. Their soup is going to taste like crap. And it's the same for your trading. If you add too much stuff to your charts, right, you will hurt your own trading results. Mistake number two, you don't have a framework to work with. So I know this sounds a bit vague, so let me explain. So let me ask you, let's say, you want to build a house. How would you go about doing it? Will you just, go out there to a store and let me buy a toilet bowl because I need a toilet bowl for my house. Oh, here's a sofa, let me buy a sofa. Oh, I need a bed, let me buy a bed. And you go back home, you put your bed down here, you put your sofa, you plant a toilet somewhere beside your bed, and just like this. I hope not, right? Because if that's what you're doing, you will live, right, in a pretty darn ugly house. So what most people will do is they have a blueprint. They have someone to design, right, the framework, the layout of their house. Maybe if it's a 3-story house, the first story could be building a kitchen on the first floor. Then maybe you have a living room and a guest room on the first floor. So this is where you kind of play and entertain yourself and cook just for the first floor of the house. Second floor could be where you're resting. So you have more bedrooms, maybe 5 to 6 bedrooms on the second floor. You have more beds, you have toilets, right? So you don't have to wake up middle of the night and walk 50 meters to your toilet and stuff like that. And maybe the third floor is your home office or your man cave or whatsoever. You have all the latest technology, entertainment on the third floor. And this is how you would go about, building your house. You have a framework, something to refer to, right? To help you, make your purchase decision so you know where, things will be. And this is the same for trading. You must have a framework. Okay, so this, right, will be core, right, to today's entire training, because the framework that matters, right, is this. There are only 4 parts to it. Very simple, but I'm going to dive deep into each and every single part. Number 1, market structure. This, right, is in essence, right, trying to find out what is the current market condition so you know what to do. For example, if you know the market condition is in an uptrend, then you look for buying opportunities. If the market condition is in a downtrend, then you look for selling opportunities. So don't worry, right, I'll dive deep into this aspect later on. Second part is area of value. So just because a market is trending doesn't mean you want to blindly hit the buy button, because the market could be overbought, right, and about to make a reversal or a pullback. So this is where you want to identify areas of value, right, where you can find a low risk entry to enter a trade. In essence, right, you're trying to find out where on the chart, right, should you buy or sell. The third thing, entry trigger. This answers the question, when exactly do you buy or sell? When exactly? What is the thing, right, that would trigger you to get into a trade? And finally, once you're in a trade, right, you must also plan your exits. What if the market moves in your favor? Where will you take profits? What if the market moves against you? Where will you cut your loss? So in essence, this is the framework, right, that we will be learning more later. And for now, let's do a quick recap. Number 1, technical analysis is simply using past data to help you make a trading decision. You must have a framework to work with. If not, you'll be lost, right? Like, blindly, building your home, right? If you don't have a framework, you don't have a blueprint, you will get lost, you will get confused, and you will, have a horrible looking house, right? So if you don't want that, start with a framework. And the framework that I've shared with you is using market structure, identifying your area of value, defining your entry trigger, and then planning your exits. Now, in the next section, you will learn, right, how to use technical analysis to define the current market condition so you know whether to be buying, selling, or staying out of the markets. So let's move on.